Supply chain control and verification for conversion areas. Forests play an important role in mitigating climate change, protecting biodiversity, and in the economic development of Laos. However, forests are under threat because of the conversion to other land uses and especially because of illegal logging. One major strategy that the government of Lao PDR is embarking on is FLEGT, Forest Law Enforcement, Governance and Trade. It aims to promote good governance in the forest sector, which will bolster poverty reduction and sustainable management of natural resources. Since 2017, Laos is negotiating a FLEGT VPA, or Voluntary Partnership Agreement, with the EU. This VPA defines the commitments and actions of both sides in their effort to address illegal logging. Once signed and implemented, the VPA will ensure the legality of timber, both timber for export and timber used domestically. For Laos, the FLEGT VPA means more than just ensuring legality of wood. It's an opportunity to reform the forest sector and strengthen the country's domestic wood industry. Since 2013, the German government supports Laos in the preparation and conduct of the VPA negotiations. This includes a multi-stakeholder dialogue process between government, private sector, and civil society organizations. The final aim is to set up a national TLAS, a Timber Legality Assurance System, which is the centerpiece of all VPAs. A TLAS consists of 5 main elements. It defines what constitutes legally produced timber, how to control the supply chain, how to verify legally sourced timber, and how to issue licenses. It also requires independent monitoring to ensure that the system works well. However, regardless of whether the timber is exported or processed and used domestically, it's important to ensure legality of the entire sector. It's important to understand where timber is coming from. In Laos, there are currently 4 primary timber sources. Logs from production forest and conversion areas are collected first within the forest or close to the harvesting area, log landing 1. The logs are transported to log landing 2, a central place close to the production forest area or conversion area, where logs are measured and graded. Non-native timber species from plantations can be directly transported via traders to the processing companies or to the point of export. Native timber species from plantations cannot be exported. Timber from village forests is limited to a customary use only and cannot be used for commercial purposes. Timber from 4 primary sources that was not harvested in legal manner and cannot be traced back to its origin shall be confiscated by the authorities. The term conversion area refers to the conversion of forest land to other land uses, mostly in the context of hydropower, mining, or agriculture projects. Generally, this conversion process includes a clear cut of the forest prior to project construction. Supply chain control of logging in infrastructure development projects has been weak in the past. Logging maps have been inaccurate, demarcation unclear, and logging has often happened illegally outside conversion areas, causing it to be a main driver of forest degradation. In accordance with national law, there are 4 investment project phases. During the proposal phase and before the Memorandum of Understanding is signed, initial field data is collected. The feasibility of the development project is assessed during the survey phase. Once the initial environmental examination, or for projects with a higher impact, the environmental and social impact assessment, are conducted successfully and the environmental and social management and monitoring plan is developed, the government will approve the project. During the construction phase, the logging is undertaken and the environmental and social management and monitoring plan has to be implemented successfully. The last phase is the operation phase, during which the environmental compliance certificate has to be renewed every 2 to 5 years. The logging operation is planned during the annual planning of the provinces and starts with a demarcation of the logging area and a pre-harvest inventory. The volume estimate of the inventory will be integrated in the annual harvest plan and submitted to the central level for approval. Logging is done in the dry season by clear cut and under responsibility of the forest authorities. Supply chain control will assure that no logging occurs outside the demarcated logging area and no timber from other sources enters the supply chain. Once logs have been transported to second log landings, they are officially measured and graded, and the industry and commerce sector will organize the sale of all timber from conversion areas through auction. An important requirement for supply chain control is the definition of the exact logging area. In order to better specify the link between environmental impact assessments, conversion approval, and logging map, relevant regulations are currently being amended. In the future, geographic information on the proposed, approved, and demarcated area will allow better supply chain control, as well as monitoring of the logging operations in conversion areas. With the start of the construction activities, the project owner has to implement the environmental and social management monitoring plan, which includes a consultation process at community level. The project owner is to report regularly to the Ministry of Natural Resources and Environment or the provincial line agencies, depending on the scale and impact of the project. Monterey and the local government are in charge of supervision and review of the reports. New satellite technology, cloud computing, internet-based GIS solutions, and handheld computers have been integrated in a so-called Operational Logging and Degradation Monitoring System, or OLDM. The system is being trained and tested by several international cooperation projects, together with the Department of Forestry, Department of Forest Inspection, and at provincial level. The objective is to have an operational system in place, delivering alerts in near real time about suspicious activities outside conversion areas. If such activities are observed, central level and provincial authorities will assess the situation and send out field patrols for investigation. Illegal activities are stopped and all relevant results are reported back. The system will help to improve the current monitoring and inspection work. During the further development of the timber legality assurance system, the main stakeholders will clarify their roles and responsibilities for the verification of the supply chain control in conversion areas and the compliance with the legality definition for conversion timber. In the future, TLAS will integrate an improved supply chain control and the OLDM system to make the roles and responsibilities of the key stakeholders clearer. For the time being, conversion areas are the main source of timber for the supply chain. Therefore, this improvement of the TLAS system will help to significantly reduce illegal logging and forest degradation outside the planned logging areas of investment projects.